Right, now here's our word question. Now remember, we're going to take our time to understand it. So we have a ramp is built up to the door of a house. By safety standards, the angle of elevation of the ramp must be no more than 10 degrees. If the door is 56 centimeters above the ground and the ramp is 1.7 meters long, does it meet safety standards? Okay, so the first thing that I notice, I'm not sure if you notice, this one's in centimeters, this one's in meters. Okay, so the first thing that I would do is I would take that 56 centimeters and I would change it to meters. So I would divide it by 100, so I know that is the same as 0.56 meters. So I know that I have to do that. So what I have is I have the door to my house is here, right? And I have to build a ramp, okay? So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to take and actually create it by, sorry about that, get out of there, by actually drawing my picture. So I have the bottom part of my door, okay? And the bottom part of my door tells me that I need to, isn't this just absolutely great? This is the bottom part of my door, which is crooked, which is probably why I need a ramp. Okay, so that's the bottom part of my door. I have ground, right? So I have some kind of ground going on. And I know that the bottom of my door is this 0.56 meters. So that's the first thing I'm going to draw. So I know that the distance from here down to the ground, according to this, is 56 centimeters. So I'm going to put in 56 centimeters, 56 meters. Okay. I also know, according to this, that the length needs to be 1.7 meters long. And I'm questioning whether this theta, does that theta equal 10 degrees? I don't know. So that's what we need to find out. We need to find out whether that is 10 degrees or not. And if it's not, then we're not up to safety standards. So you can see that we've created, this is my door, the bottom of my door. Again, it's 0.56 meters from the ground. Okay, from the ground, and the ramp is 1.7 meters long. So I want to know if that's 10 degrees or not. Now, obviously it doesn't look like it's 10 degrees, but we just drew this. We didn't measure anything, so we can't go by our eye. We actually have to calculate it. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to label the sides according to this theta that we're not sure about. So I'm going to change my thickness. So I'm concerned about this theta. So directly opposite it is opposite. This is hypotenuse, and then obviously this is adjacent. So again, to make sure that I'm always picking the right one, so I'm going to write down SOHCAHTOA. And after I have SOHCAHTOA, then I want to see I have opposite, and I have the hypotenuse. So you again see that we're going to use sine. So I write down my formula, sine of theta. And now I want it to be 10, but I'm checking to see whether it is going to be 10. Is opposite over hypotenuse. Opposite here is the 0.56, and our hypotenuse is 1.7 meters. So I'm going to take my calculator and actually calculate to see what that is as a decimal. So decimal 56 divided by 1.7 equals decimal 3294. 294. Okay, now if I take and figure out my theta, I can see whether I'm up to code or not. So I'm going to take the sine inverse of our decimal, of our ratio, And when we do that, we discover it is 19.2 degrees. Now, obviously, 19.2 degrees is larger than 10. It says it can be no more than 10. No more than 10. So are we up to code? No, we are not. So we need a therefore statement. So therefore, the angle is greater than 10 degrees. It does not satisfy that. And obviously I've spelled that wrong. So away it goes. Could actually type it, it would be faster. It does not satisfy the safety code, okay, or safety standards. Okay, so it's not just good enough to say it does not satisfy the safety code. You have to say the angle is greater than 10 degrees, you know, so it doesn't satisfy the code, just so the person knows for sure you know what you're talking about. Okay, so again, what you can do is you can create your diagram. You can get me to check it. Um, and then after you do it, it's pretty much the same as other questions. It's just getting that first diagram that makes the difference.